How we doing, Vol Nation? This is Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel. I want to talk this morning, or whenever you're watching this. I want to talk about four keys, four things I've pinpointed for Tennessee. If Tennessee's able to do these things or close to them, Tennessee wins this football game Saturday night. And frankly, I think they win at hand. Before we get any further, thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for watching the content. Thank you for supporting the channel. I cannot stress how much I appreciate it, how much it means to me, how much it means to the channel. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, share out the content. If you have not already and you like it, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on those notifications as well. But I've pinpointed this. I talked about over the weekend, right after Tennessee beat Kent State, released a video on Sunday. I said advantages for Tennessee against Oklahoma, and I talked about some of those. I will link that at the end of this. I also had one talking about a rivalry potentially in the making. Multiple things go into that as well. But to me, when I look at this football game, I've not seen the line. Last I saw, Tennessee was over a touchdown favorite on this one. Now, I've seen the Tennessee websites 24/7. I've seen VolQuest. I've seen numerous ones do this. Other channel, we do these matchups, offense versus defense, vice versa. Everything I've seen, and I agree with them, favors Tennessee in this football game. Now, what's the one advantage Oklahoma has on Saturday night? It's the home crowd. Their home crowd, it's going to be rowdy. Let's make no mistake about it. But how does Tennessee, their first road game of the year, Charlotte was neutral. It was kind of a little bit of a road environment. There were more NC State fans there. But that was nothing like what they're going to see in Norman Saturday night. For me, there's four things it boils down to. Two things on offense, two things on defense. Number one, protect Nico. I'm not saying he don't give up any sacks. I'm not saying that. But if Nico's on the run all night, if he can't plant and throw, if he's continually running for his life, that's not a good thing for this offense. Give him time. Are there times he's going to have to get out and make plays with his legs? Yes. This is the type of game to where he can do that. That's what we want in this game, is that he does make plays with his legs. He did it against NC State. I expect a similar game plan here. But we got to give him that time to where he can hit those crossing routes, so he can hit a deep ball. If Oklahoma tries to go one-on-one, we got to give him time to hit those one-on-one balls. This is a good defensive line. This is definitely the best defense they've faced so far this season. How does Tennessee play against them? This is a Tennessee veteran offensive line. The only question for it going into this week is, does Lance Hurd play? He's questionable. I'd read earlier in the week, though, that he should be good to go, and that if they really needed him to last week, he would have been good to go then. Tennessee's veteran offensive line against an Oklahoma defense that does get after the quarterback. They do get sacks. They do force turnovers on that. You protect Nico. That's going to go a long way. Key number two on offense, run football. I think you got to get at least 150. You got to get at least 150 in this game. Dylan Sampson's obviously probably going to get all the carries that he wants. What's the pecking order going to be like behind him? Cam Seldon was not even listed on the injury report for this weekend. He's going to be good to go. Is it him or is it Deshaun Bishop, number two, though? It's what will be interesting to see. Deshaun Bishop has certainly made a case these last couple of weeks when he's gotten those extra carries for him to be that guy. He's done excellent. He's done a great job. What an underrated find that's been for Tennessee. And really, if you look back at these running backs, Dylan Sampson was initially a 3-star when they recruited him. Toward the end, he was upgrade to a 4-star. Cam Seldon was he was a 4-star athlete, depending on the rankings there. But Deshaun Bishop was committed to Coastal Carolina for the longest time, flipped to Tennessee at the end. He's considered a walk-on. I don't think that'll be the case for long. Khalifa Keefe is a 3. Of course, he doesn't play as much. Peyton Lewis was a 4. But, Tennessee has recruited. They have evaluated this position well. They continue to develop as well. I think you get at least 150 yards. That's a pretty good night on here. If Tennessee's down, in the 120s or closer to 100, it's going to be a long night for them. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Nico. Nico's going to have to do his job, don't get me wrong, and I fully expect that he will. But if it's one-dimensional, It's going to be a long night for Nico. That's going to give that Oklahoma defense all night to get after him. How does Tennessee react? I like the fact that they're going to have a real good shot in this game. I like the fact that this is a multi-dimensional offense. I was like watching some film last week against Tulane. Tennessee's been running this 12 personnel. I feel that could be a look. Oklahoma does like to blitz. How does Tennessee deal with that? Keys on offense. Protect Nico. Run for at least 150. You go for more than that, it's just icing on the cake. Preferably closer to 200 with it. Oklahoma's going to have a real hard time keeping up with Tennessee if that's the case. And I've seen Oklahoma fans say, well, they haven't played a defense like this. Oklahoma, on the other hand, has not played an offense like Tennessee. Not with these kind of weapons, not with this type of quarterback who can make every throw on the field, not this type of quarterback who can make throws on the run as well. Make no mistake about it. I don't know Tennessee's offensive line gets the credit they deserve. This is a veteran offensive line who has played a lot of snaps. This is what these guys are back for. Cooper Mays, Javante Spraggins, John Campbell, Jackson Lampley, or Carriage. Lance Hurd come to Tennessee. These guys will be ready Saturday night. Key number 3, keep Jackson Arnold in the pocket. Keep him in the pocket. If he's able to escape pressure, will he at some point? I totally expect that he will. He'll get loose at some point. You've got to minimize that when he does. If he gets 10 yards or so, so be it. You give that up occasionally. For the most part, though, keep him contained in that pocket. I don't think this Oklahoma offensive line can block Tennessee. I know they're possibly going to get some guys back this week. They've had trouble in the previous games against Tulane, against Houston, against Temple. I'm not so sure how much they had against Temple, but Houston and Tulane definitely gave them some things to think about on there. This is a different Tennessee defensive line, 12 to 14 deep. You pull one line out, you pull your first string out, here comes your second. They're pretty dang good. You pull them out, here comes a whole other fresh 3 guys. They're pretty dang good as well. You're just rotating 12 guys. You're keeping them fresh. You're going to wear Oklahoma's offensive line down at some point. Contain Jackson Arnold. It's going to make it a long night for Oklahoma. And key number 4 for me, make Oklahoma one-dimensional. Take the runway. Take the run. That includes Jackson Arnold. He is their leading rusher. They've got 3 guys over 100 yards on the season. Jackson Arnold, 159. Javante Barnes, 126. Taylor Tatum, 102. Tatum seems to me like the biggest home run threat of the 3. He's averaging 6.8 yards per carry. Barnes, 4.1. Arnold, 4.4. That's your 3 guys who have gotten the most carries. It's predominantly Arnold who's led them with 36 carries, and then Barnes with 31. You take that run game away from them, you're going to make them one-dimensional. You're going to allow this defense to pin their ears back, put the pressure on, and wreak havoc on Saturday night. If Oklahoma's able to establish a run game, it's going to make it harder for Tennessee to put as much pressure as they want on Arnold. Tennessee's strength over the years, that run yardage has come down every year. It was over 2,000 the first couple of years. It was just under 1,500 given up last year. That shows you how much they improved in the run. Teams have not had any success this year against Tennessee. I fully expect on Saturday night this is going to be the case as well. To me, in every matchup, Tennessee, it's just better in every regard. Oklahoma's going to have the home field advantage. That's the only advantage. I know they get Nick Anderson back on Saturday night. That's got to help them. Let's make no mistake about it. They're getting some guys back. But at the same time, if Jackson Arnold does not have time to throw, if this defensive line is breathing down his neck all night, it's not going to matter who they've got out there. If you don't have time to throw, if you don't have time to get open, what are you going to do? Keep him in the pocket, and it's going to be a long night for Tennessee. If Tennessee does their job, if they show up and play the way they're perfectly capable of playing on Saturday night, I don't care where the game is played at, Tennessee wins this game handily. Thank you guys again for your support. Thank you for checking out the content, for supporting the channel. Make sure you hit the thumbs up again, you share, you subscribe, you turn on the notifications. There are the membership options. There is the Patreon. Those are linked in the description of the channel. There is the super things in the bottom right-hand corner as well. Thank you again so much. I hope you have a great day. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Last but most certainly not least, go Vols.